We're live.
Hello, everyone, and happy Friday to everyone throughout the world. It's great to see you all again in our fortnightly meetings. And today, Tracy and I have invited Michael LeVene. So, Michael is the CEO of EXIQ, and his company specialises in voice AI and knowledge-based chatbots for business. So, Tracy, we've got a great subject today that everyone needs to know about. Let's tell everyone what we're going to discuss.
Yeah, so today's topic is all about the top 3 challenges that businesses are facing with AI now in their companies. And we did put on there that, the large to medium businesses, but also small businesses, because we all seem to face the same challenges, just on a different scale. So I suppose with small businesses, I think the first thing that we sort of is what tech. And Michael, would you agree? Like, that's generally like, where do I start? Would be one of the first challenges.
Probably one of the biggest challenges is, I suppose, leadership and strategic alignment. It doesn't often work. If someone who's a junior wants to try and use AI, you end up with a lot of people using different systems, and it doesn't really benefit the company as a whole. So probably one of the first places I'd start, and it's a universal challenge across all business, is leadership and a vision and strategy around AI. So really trying to build, well, whether or not it's a managing director or a board level strategy to come up with, well, what are we going to implement? And I think the other area there is also picking what's actually going to be beneficial to your business. So what's the lowest hanging fruit that's going to give you your best return for investment initially, and then progressively implementing from there on in.
Yeah, it's such a big thing, isn't it? Just making sure that the whole company, whole business is strategically aligned. We do it with our values. We do it with, the business direction aspect. But because AI is so new, and even though, well, AI's been around for a while, but in our public mind, AI is still so new, and especially here in Australia. We are falling behind a little bit, as we discussed the other day, Michael. Australia is lagging a little bit in the business industries to actually implement AI on a strategic level and also on an operational level as well. So the other challenge I have sort of seen, Michael, is talking about the technical complexity of AI within the business, because let's face it, most people are not AI techie people, and that's a real challenge when you're trying to do a change management aspect into the business.
I'd agree. And actually on my list that I've got up on my screen here as a reminder is people in change management at number 2 on my list, which is really upskilling staff, redesigning workflows, and also winning trust to so you actually get buy-in from, I suppose, the workforce. It's one of the biggest challenges as well, is people are worried, am I going to lose my job to AI?
Definitely.
Michael, what was number 1 on your list?
Leadership, vision and strategy.
Excellent. Yeah, we covered
Fair
that.
enough. Rena, do you have a question? Sorry, I took over.
No. So, Michael, just in relation to improving efficiencies within organisations, talk to us about how the chatbots and the voice AI can actually complement business.
Okay. So a couple of areas I'm particularly focusing on at the moment would be medical centres. And medical centres have a huge number of phone calls. There's one I'm looking at the moment that has about 50,000 phone calls a month, but probably about 100,000 minutes, if you say about 2 minutes a call. Yeah. And that's a massive amount of time taken up with people answering phones, and most of them are to book appointments, shift appointments, or just do general inquiries. So using AI, we can automate that with human-sounding voices, so the user on the other end doesn't even know they're talking to a computer, basically. And we can take that workload off of all the staff. So, I mean, I'm sure you've walked into medical, go to see your doctor, and they're always on the phone. You're waiting to be able to talk to the receptionist there, and instead of having them on the phone, they're actually freed up to immediately serve you and support the doctors in a far better capacity. The other area where I use chatbot or knowledge base is a lot of people know about chatbots on like the customer-facing side to answer simple questions. But what you can do is load in all the company policies and documents into a chatbot, and it's internal, it's all secure, it's all private. And instead of looking through reams of paper and policies and processes, you just ask the chatbot, how do I do this? Or what's the policy around this? And
Well,
then it comes
that's
back
so
and
exciting. That for me, that I love doing things like that. Like I do it on a smaller scale, clearly, for all the solopreneurs and coaches and consultants and stuff, because they also have all their IP, all their knowledge, and they sometimes have a VA, and the VA needs that information. Obviously you don't give everything away. You've got to be careful with your data security. But saying that, being internal with your VA, it's a great tool, because then they can answer questions as well, without hassling you on a day-to-day basis. So, that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Michael, I've actually seen it work really well inside that same concept, inside of an app that is a membership-based app. And it's basically cloning the coach, and people then just ask questions within the chatbot. And it's been a great success. So there's lots of different ways for voice AI and chatbots and stuff to be immersed through all variety of sizes of businesses. So I'm just so excited about the possibilities of where AI is going. But obviously, we also have to think of the ethics side of things. And I'm sure that's one of your top three is ethics. And, is AI going to take over people's jobs? Are people going to be losing jobs because of AI? I know it's already happening in Microsoft. It's happening in some big companies. So, what's your take on the ethics?
I definitely care about people, and actually one of my challenges I have is, I'm working in a business that's going to disrupt, I suppose, the way things are run and people's jobs. And I think it's a bigger question of, traditionally when we've brought in new technology, it improves people's quality of life. And that's what technology is generally about, is to help us have a better quality of life, to do things easier. AI represents a unique challenge, as in, is it going to increase everyone's quality of life? Or is it going to take your purpose away if you lose your job? And that's definitely something I think about a lot. And unfortunately, we're in a situation where technology moves forward and it's going to happen regardless. It's how do we work with that moving forward to make people useful? Or do we put limits on AI, going, well, yes, it can do it, but it's not going to benefit humanity?
Yeah, it's some great questions. And these are questions that businesses and governments and, world organizations need to be asking. And also the companies that create these AIs as well. They're questions that do need to be at the forefront, I suppose. We actually have a comment from Michael Tellis. Trust is a great point, Michael, as all staff will be concerned about how AI will impact their jobs. And Michael, you're absolutely right. It's one of those things, because I'm in the trenches with the executive assistants and office managers, that is one of their major concerns is, will it take my job? And my answer to that is it will only take your job if you don't become proficient in AI and use it and be indispensable. Also with your emotional intelligence, there's so many other human skills that AI will not be able to replace at this point. And I always say at this point because who knows? So it's a really interesting topic there. Do you have any other questions, Rena?
I was just going to say, Michael, from a leadership perspective, we talked about strategy and leadership. What would your key takeaways be, I guess, for leaders in terms of preparation for this?
I think, first of all, you need to realise AI is going to affect the business landscape incredibly quickly. I think it's predicted that 20% of jobs will be lost due to AI, at least traditional jobs. If you want your business to move forward, you need to seriously start looking at how are you going to implement AI in your business. And that might mean putting a committee together and getting hold of experts who have been working with AI for a number of years to help with implementing a bit of a policy and strategy around what you're going to do in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Key points there. Now, having those key stakeholders within the organisation, I think is a great little step. So you engage the key stakeholders, you train them, and then they can train the members of the team. And I think that's a better way to nurture and enhance the culture and the fear within an organisation. Tracy, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think if the business owners or the board actually stop and ask questions of their staff, the staff are actually already using AI, whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic because you have people that are already engaged in using it, so that they'll be your cheerleaders if you can grab hold of them. I suppose the fear aspect of that from a business point of view is that are they doing it under the right policy? Do you know what I mean? So the governance side of it, is there a governance for AI within your business? And do you have, a policy and procedure? Do you have how-to guides on, bringing in a new AI into the business? Because these are the sorts of things that I think for ethical concerns for your business, data security for your business, all of those concerns need to be addressed now in a strategic manner before, I'd say before they're implementing AI within your business.
Actually, you do. Hi, talking about data, and that's actually on my list. I've actually got top 5 here rather than 3. But data foundations is another one. And there is a differentiation between maybe a small, medium business and large business. Yeah. With your medium businesses, there's often a lack of data and processes to implement solutions clearly. Or if you're doing, for example, knowledge-based chatbots, there's a lot of information missing because everyone just kind of knows what to do and it's not documented, particularly if you don't have formal quality ISO 9001. And then the other challenge with large organisations, which I've worked in as well, is data silos and trying to get information out from different departments. So the departments operate almost completely independently and they don't know what each other's doing. And that happens.
Effect, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've seen that happen across government and multinationals and, quite a large number of businesses that happens to. And often a lot of it is, people want to control their own little area. And that's why you need buying. When I went at the start, had number 1, leadership, vision and strategy. Because if you don't combine the whole business together, you get a lot of isolated, I suppose, methods of implementing AI that doesn't really combine together well.
Yeah, and that's, I suppose, a big challenge of the medium to large businesses. A little bit different to smaller businesses because generally there is no silo. They're all working together because there are only a few of them. And by small business, I mean under 10 people. Not doing a technical word of small business, meaning, under 50, under 100 staff sort of stuff. But yeah, it's great. I know we've got to wrap this up now. Is there one last thing, Michael, that you'd like to share with us? You said you've got 5 on there. I think we've done 4. Is there one thing?
Yep. Really, integration with existing technology is one that we haven't discussed as much, is that often you're talking about a lot of legacy systems, and one of the challenges is how do you plug in AI into the existing systems? Because AI should be there to help the business run better, not try and change all the tools completely and then having everyone trying to upskill and use them. So one of the challenges, and which is why I've got a very experienced solutions architect on my team, is to be able to write APIs and interface with the existing CRMs, ERPs, which is the enterprise management software that runs the business.
Yep. Yeah, no,
Very
that's
important.
very important.
That they all talk to each other, ultimately.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
also a cost thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I can only imagine the amount of people that are coming to businesses and going, oh, here's the latest AI, you need to integrate this. Oh, here's this. Oh, here's that, you know. And I have heard of when I was at the EAPA Leadership Summit, someone put up their hand and says, oh, our business just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars implementing Microsoft because we heard that's a really good AI. And it's like, oh, no. Did you actually look at what you're already using and supplement? Like, you know, and make it a lot easier and a lot more cost effective? And they says, oh, no, we just went, oh, this is what we need. And so we've gone and rechanged the whole system. And it was just like, oh. But I suppose, Michael, you would hear that story quite often where people just implement a whole new system without even considering how you could actually integrate others more cost effectively.
Yeah, I don't think that's unique to AI either. It's a common issue across businesses. With any technology, have you got it? Well, again, have you got the buy-in from the staff, which is critical? Is it the best software for that given business as well?
Yeah,
and yeah, it's not in your problem. It's really about selecting the correct tools.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's people like you and people like me that and Rena that can come into your business and decide that.
That's right.
Help you decide that, give you some really great guidance and, you know, send you along the way to changing your business ready for now and into the future. So I do believe, Rena, we need to wrap up. So thank you, everyone. Rena, it's been great.
It's been a great session.
Again.
Yeah, happy Friday. Thank you so much, Michael, for joining us. And people all over the world, what we'd like you to do is please reach out to Tracy and reach out to Michael, and we can help you with, you know, whatever challenges that you might have. So we're here to add value, to give you a lot of help and direction, and we look forward to engaging with you further. But have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you all for your time. See you next fortnight. Bye.
Thanks for having me.